The Duino Elegies by Rainer Maria Rilke. Translated by Stephen Mitchell. It is one thing to sing the beloved, another, alas, to invoke that hidden, guilty river god of the blood, her young lover, whom she knows from far away. What does he know of the Lord of Desire, who often, up from the depths of his solitude, even before she could soothe him, as though she didn't exist, held up his head, dripping with the unknown, erect, and summoned the night to an endless uproar. Oh, the Neptune inside our blood, with his appalling trident. Oh, the dark wind from his breast, out of that spiraled conch. Listen to the night, as it makes itself hollow. Oh, stars, isn't it from you that the lover's desire for the face of his beloved arises? Doesn't his secret insight into her pure features come from the pure constellations? Not you, his mother. Alas, you were not the one who bent the arch of his eyebrows into such expectation. Not for you, girl so aware of him, not for your mouth did his lips curve themselves into a more fruitful expression. Do you really think that your gentle steps could have shaken him with such violence? You, who move like the morning breeze. Yes, you did frighten his heart, but more ancient terrors plunged into him at the shock of that feeling. Call him, but you can't quite call him, away from those dark companions. Of course, he wants to escape, and he does, relieved. He nestles into your sheltering heart, takes hold and begins himself. Did he ever begin himself, really? Mother, you made him small. It was you who started him. In your sight he was new. Over his new eyes you arched the friendly world and warded off the world that was alien. Ha ha! Where are the years when you shielded him just by placing your slender form between him and the surging abyss? How much you hid from him then. The room that filled with suspicion at night, you made it harmless, and out of the refuge of your heart you mixed a more human space in with his night space. And you set down the lamp, not in that darkness, but in your nearer presence, and it glowed at him like a friend. There wasn't a creak that your smile could not explain, as though you had long known just when the floor would do that. And he listened and was soothed. So powerful was your presence as you tenderly stood by the bed. His fate, tall and cloaked, retreated behind the wardrobe, and his restless future delayed for a while, adapted to the folds of the curtain. And he himself, as he lay there, relieved with the sweetness of the gentle world you had made for him, dissolving beneath his drowsy eyelids into the foretastes of sleep. He seemed protected. But inside, who could ward off, who could divert the floods of origin inside him? There was no trace of caution in that sleeper. Sleeping, yes, but dreaming, but flushed with what fevers? How he threw himself in, all at once new, trembling, how he was caught up and entangled in the spreading tendrils of inner event, already twined into patterns, into strangling undergrowth, prowling bestial shapes. How he submitted, loved his interior world, his interior wilderness, that primal forest inside him where among decayed tree trunks his heart stood, light green. Loved, left it, went through his own roots and out into the powerful source where his little birth had already been outlived. Loving, he waded down into more ancient blood, to ravines where horror lay, still glutted with his fathers. And every terror knew him, winked at him like an accomplice. Yes, atrocity smiled. Seldom had you smiled so tenderly, mother. How could he help loving what smiled at him? Even before he knew you, he had loved it, for already, while you carried him inside you, it was dissolved in the water that makes the embryo weightless. No, we don't accomplish our love in a single year, as the flowers do. An immemorial sap flows up through our arms when we love. Dear girl, this that we loved inside us. Not one who would someday appear, but seething multitudes, not just a single child, but also the fathers lying in our depths like fallen mountains. Also the dried up riverbeds of ancient mothers. Also the whole soundless landscape under the clouded or clear sky of its destiny. All this, my dear, preceded you. And you yourself, how could you know what primordial time you stirred in your lover? What passions welled up inside him from departed beings? What women hated you there? How many dark, sinister men you aroused in his young veins? Dead children reached out to you. Oh, gently, gently, let him see you performing with love some confident daily task. Lead him out, close to the garden. Give him what outweighs the heaviest night. Restrain him.